So Main Street Polling Company asks the question, if the election for the mayor of Saskatoon were held today, who would you vote for on the following list of candidates? So Don Atchison is at 29%, and that's where he was in July. Charlie Clark is at 24%, and he was 26 in July. And a newcomer named Kelley Moore, who wasn't in the race in July, is at 18%. And Henry Day, the one-time former mayor who received 15% of the vote back in the summer, is now down to 5%. And I did fearlessly predict Henry Day will not get 5% of the vote. I just don't think it's going to happen. So I think 5 is probably a more accurate description. But the interesting part is that Kelley Moore is now running a strong third. But when you parse out the undecideds and the softly leanings and the non-committeds to decided voters only, if the election were held today, Don Atchison gets 37% of the vote. Charlie Clark gets 31%. Kelley Moore gets 23%. And Henry Day's down at 6%. So Kelley Moore's entrance in this race has made for a very interesting three-way race. A lot of us who watch politics, and Charlie Clark is as left-wing as you've ever had a candidate for mayor. He's in the kind of the Ryan Miley provincial NDP school. His wife is a social justice activist. She's a law prof, writes on social justice and the law. Charlie Clark's a hard left-winger. He rides a bicycle year-round. He's the guy behind Saskatoon's bicycle. We call him Charlie Bike Lanes Clark on this radio show. But in a two-person race, Charlie Clark and the mayor, Charlie Clark, if he can move over to the center and say, okay, everybody unhappy with Don Atchison, I'm your guy. But a two-party race would be an interesting one. And if you go back to that polling in July, 29-26. And people parked at Henry Day going, you know, I'm not sure I'm liking Atchison, but I can't go with Clark, so I'll park with Henry Day. Well, Day's a 5% candidate. So now, 29, 24, and 18, I'm doing the overall numbers, for Kelley Moore. Kelley Moore, though, comes in from kind of the center-left axis. So a lot of progressive voters, progressive being code for left-wing, are going to be way more on Kelley Moore. Kelley Moore has an ability to attract the center that Charlie Clark doesn't, so she starts to become a very strong alternative candidate. And you see a three-way split. So how this is going to play out is going to be fascinating indeed. And voting day, of course, the 26th of next month. And we're going to have all of the candidates on here, as well as the Regina candidates, Michael Fougere, incumbent mayor, Tony Fiacco, who's running against him. We're going to get all of the candidates here for different encounters, different exchanges, and some good look-see at the people who want to go.